What is the secret recipe behind Lorenzo's constant joyful demeanor? Tequila. Wait a minute.
Hi, my name's Rhoda. I'm the video food director at Bon Appétit and Epicurious.
Don't worry, Claire.
I'm Penny, and I'm a professional chef at the Institute of Culinary Education. You probably know me as a level 3 chef. Wish me luck. Ah!
Lorenzo here. I'm a level 2 chef. Booyah!
I'm Rose. I'm a food scientist.
I'm Victoria Pendergrast. I'm an Olivier-winning actor who plays Emily on the 4-Level series. Didn't get any shell in there this time, so pretty much a professional. The role of Emily, well, she doesn't know that much about cooking, but I do think that she understands the soul of it. Do you know what I mean? I'm just kidding. I'm Emily. I'm a level 1 chef. Hi!
And here are all of the answers
To all of your questions.
About omelets.
Ready to snap into a Slim Jim. That's what it reminds me of when I hear it.
What is the best way
To get a fluffy omelet,
That doesn't stick to my pan. Well, that's a complicated question.
whisk it vigorously, maybe?
Ooh, I actually remember that I was a little lazy and I didn't stir up my omelet too long. Bad me, but you should.
If you want your omelet to be on the fluffier side, you can try to incorporate a little bit of air when you're beating the eggs. Try using a whisk.
The more you whisk, the more air you incorporate, and the fluffier your omelet's going to be.
Whip it good, whip it real good.
So in terms of having the omelet not stick,
Definitely use a non-stick pan. That's totally fine to do when you make an omelet.
Might I add?
Butter?
I don't really know, but that would be my guess.
I like butter. First one out of the gates.
Okay. How am I supposed to jostle and break up the omelet in the pan?
Without screwing up and suddenly making scrambled eggs.
well, you are kind of making scrambled eggs. An omelet starts with scrambled eggs, so that's exactly what you should think about doing.
Scrambled eggs are okay. I know it's an omelet you're going for, but they're delicious scrambled too, so don't be too hard on yourself.
So the way to avoid making scrambled eggs when you're making an omelet is you want to put the eggs in and start making small circular motions right away with your spatula. That'll help to cook the eggs evenly.
Allow the curds to move to one side, the liquid comes down to the other side of the pan, scramble those.
And then last minute of cooking, take it off the heat, smooth out the surface of the eggs, and that'll make a nice smooth surface for your omelet when you start to roll it.
And then when you think that they're not cooked yet, that's when you stop and you leave it alone. And then it becomes one piece on the bottom.
You really kind of just have to move the pan around, let the egg mixture that's uncooked kind of fall to the pan portion. So you kind of have to lift it up and stuff. Kind of do a little dance with it.
That's all. Just let it cook enough. Like, wait a little longer. My information is questionable.
What should you add to your eggs before whisking them? Mom always added milk. Oh, well,
Well, if your mom added milk and you like those eggs, then I would add milk too. The fact is you don't need to add anything to your eggs when you're making an omelet.
I added water in the video. I know that was medium controversial. Certainly not the most controversial thing I've ever done. I like to put ketchup on because I'm a monster. All right, here we go.
You really don't need to add water. That's only going to extend your cooking time. If you are going to add something to your eggs, you want to add flavor. So if you're going to add milk, whole milk, or cream, something that's going to add a little fat and more flavor to your eggs.
When you're adding milk or heavy cream, you're actually raising the coagulation temperature for the proteins in the eggs. So your omelet's going to take a little bit longer to set nicely.
good question.
Your mom's not wrong. It's not right. You know what I mean? That was scary.
Do you salt your eggs while they're still raw or while they're cooking?
I heard that eggs get runny if I salt them raw.
No, you have to. You have to whip them and add salt before you cook it, obviously.
I usually salt my eggs just before cooking. Sometimes if I wait to salt them once they're in the pan, I forget.
I add the salt when I have my scrambled eggs and I'm allowing them to come into one piece and they're sort of curdy and I have the loose curds up on the top. I salt it then.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna put just a pinch of salt in.
Rose? Oh, Rose.
When you salt your eggs before they're cooked, it really interferes with some of the proteins over-coagulating and giving you a rubbery texture. So some people really think that salting before cooking makes for a softer, fluffier omelet, and some people think that it could interfere with proteins so that they get a little bit over-coagulated. Really, either way is fine to do.
Should you saute the veggies before they go into the omelet?
Absolutely, if you want it to taste good. These are raw, okay? Your omelet is, no matter how slow you cook it, it's still gonna be cooking really, really fast, and certainly not long enough to cook these.
In the video, I did not. But that was slightly weird. So,
If you're using onion particularly, you want to cook it beforehand. Otherwise, you're going to have raw onion that's going to have a really intense flavor. It's not going to taste very good.
I like raw red onion.
I hate raw onions. I despise raw onions. I don't care what form they're in. I will never eat a raw onion.
When you brown the vegetables by sauteing them, it adds more flavor. If you put them raw into an omelet, they're going to release moisture, which is going to make the texture of your omelet kind of soggy and not very pleasant.
What is the best cheese for an omelet that doesn't detract from the eggy goodness?
Anybody that knows me and everybody that knows me knows I love all forms of cheese. I love sharp cheddar, I love American, I love Swiss.
I don't think that there's a specific cheese that I'm going to say yes or no to. I think it's the one you like. But I'd go with something creamy that emphasizes the creaminess of the eggs.
probably something that melts well.
Something like Parmesan might take a little bit longer to melt. Something like cheddar or Swiss or mozzarella would be more ideal because those cheeses will melt with the eggs and everything will be ready at the same time.
I don't even really put cheese in my omelets. But if I were, I'd probably put goat cheese.
There's not a day in my life that I don't eat a piece of cheese, chocolate, and drink a beer.
I don't know. I like feta. Do you like feta? Anybody else? There we go.
Do the brown and white eggs have different flavors?
God, I don't know what makes them different colors. Kind of chicken? No, that doesn't make any sense. Rose!
Brown eggs come from red hens, and white eggs come from white hens.
Well, look who's smart. Got big thoughts in my old brain.
Pardon me while I know you said flavor, but I mean, it's a really interesting question.
They are exactly the same. The only variance between them is the type of chicken that laid them. Different kinds of chicken are going to lay a brown egg versus a white egg versus a blue egg or any other version of it.
The thing that's going to give you a different flavor in your eggs is how the chickens are raised, whether they're cage-free, pasture raised, or if they're more farm factory raised. People buy the brown eggs because they think they're more natural, but that's not necessarily the case.
The color of the egg yolk comes from something called xanthophylls, and that is something that's a little bit different than carotenoid pigments that you find in things like carrots, although the color ends up being similar.
Ooh. I broke it! Okay.
Next!
What's up with the grades of egg?
Is grade A just saying, these sure are eggs?
Or is it related to a specific quality of the egg?
Shape is the grading system, I think. Is that right? Anyone? Is there an answer?
I think it's size. I'm gonna go with size. No, I'm not, because they write the size on it. So it must be quality. But then what's a grade F egg? What's wrong with the other grades of egg?
It's all about the age of the egg.
There's a couple things that the USDA does when they're grading eggs. So one thing is they'll candle the eggs, which means that they'll hold the egg up into light because there's some translucence to the egg. Or they'll roll them over a conveyor belt that's lit underneath. Also, when you crack the egg, it should not spread very far. If it's nice and close and compact and the white has a nice gel-like quality and is slightly raised up, that means that you have a nice, fresh grade A egg.
Most grocery stores really only sell grade AA eggs. You don't really see grade B, grade C eggs because they're not as fresh.
Big Bird told me. Let's move on with that.
When they cracked their eggs on the side of the bowl, it hurt my soul.
This is your problem? This is your big problem in life.
They're just eggs, so everything should be okay.
You have a very fragile soul, my friend. How else are we going to open the darn thing?
It hurts my soul too. You shouldn't do that.
Oh, it hurt your soul when they cracked an egg on the side of a bowl? Oh, uh-oh. How does your soul feel now, huh? Ooh, I got my thumb in it, too.
So this is what you're talking about, gently, very nice, but I like to ninja. Contamination, we all die, sorry.
It's wrong. And the reason it's wrong is because when you crack it on something sharp, it sends shards of egg up into the egg. So when you crack that shell and put it on the inside of the egg, you're actually transferring dirt from the outside of the shell into the pristine egg.
So technically, the correct way to crack an egg is to do it on the table.
My preferred way to crack eggs is actually against each other. One of the eggs cracks, and the second one never does.
I'd like to note that this is in all caps. Technically, this question is it wise to crack open an egg with one hand?
Let's test this procedure. It is. So stupid, I got an eggshell, sorry.
I'm not a fan. Generally speaking, as the egg ages, the shell gets thinner. You try to do that, and it's literally just shattering in your hand, and you're ending up with a gigantic mess. So, no, it's not wise.
It's only wise if you know how to do it. It takes a little bit of skill.
Let's see. There we go. All right, I got a little shell in there, but I did technically pull that off.
Hello.
Looks like Emily's got a new skill. Call the basic skills, people. I'm coming back. All right. Goodbye, paper.
What are the best things to have with an omelet?
Coffee.
The word best scares me, right? What's best for me and best for you? They're very different things. I don't know what's the best thing to have. Salt?
A nice cold brewski, folks. For real.
For me, it's champagne. I love omelets and champagne.
I hear Rose said champagne, and you know what? I'm on the same page. I love that.
Champagne with an omelet sounds like a lovely idea.
I love the effervescence of champagne. I love the color of champagne. It kind of matches my omelet. And usually that's just how I like to have my eggs. Actually, all eggs I like with champagne. So
You're classy, Rose.
Bacon's not bad either.
Rose, call me. Get champagne and an omelet. Huh? Could be nice. We could be friends.
okay.
Rose.
What's the most adventurous omelet you have ever made?
Smoked salmon, onions, dill, and goat cheese.
My dad is kind of an omelet whisperer. My mom gave my dad a pan. I think it was from an infomercial that starred a person named Rudy because she calls him Rudy the Omelet King, even though his name is Mark. So Rudy the Omelet King has a special pan that's only used for omelets, and he makes crab meat, sauteed mushroom, and Swiss cheese omelets for special occasions. And I don't know if anyone else has ever had that.
I've had crab in an omelet. I've actually had crab in an omelet, and then they topped it off with holiday sauce. Holy stromboli. Forget about it. That was fantastic. Oh my God. The question we all need to be talking about, does ketchup belong with an omelet?
I don't know. Maybe we should ask Emily.
I'm going to defer to Emily on this one.
Love you, Emily.
The question we all need to talk about. Does ketchup belong with an omelet? To all you omelet makers out there, good luck.
The best way to get better at cooking omelets is just to keep practicing. Just keep doing it and eat all of your mistakes.
Just make sure you make an omelet that you're going to enjoy. I know I'll be having mine with a glass of champagne.
An egg is limitless possibility.
Me like omelets a lot.
Yay! Is that it?
And that's everything.
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 Is it? Is that everything?
There is to know.
About omelets.
See you guys.